Hi friends, welcome to LifeStream Live with Angie. Today we are here with Holly Dunn, who is the project coordinator for Communities That Care in Fayette County. The month of April is also known as the Drug Take Back Month. And so Holly today is going to be talking to us about that specifically. So thank you, Holly, for joining. Sorry that we weren't able to do this last time. But yes, thank you again for joining in today. And I'm anxious to hear about the Drug Take Back Day.
All right, Angie, thank you so much for this opportunity. Just being really honest, I feel like this kind of month is a build up to the work that we've been doing really all year. And so I'm excited to share about some things that are happening in Fayette County and really all around the world. Like Drug Take Back Month is nationwide, and I know it actually happens elsewhere as well. Um, so I really kind of am excited about this opportunity that came about through Communities That Care. And we are a grant funded organization that really we kind of have three different things happening. We work primarily with a drug-free community grant in schools and prevention efforts with youth. We have one leg in the harms reduction world that really works at working with people right where they're at and trying to help them to I know that this sounds conflicting, but use safely and safely dispose and remain healthy and moving towards recovery. And then the leg that I get to be a part of is through a state block grant. And this year we're working with adults, and it's a total shift, but we're having a lot of fun with it. So it really the leg that I'm working on. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but it's really in three different parts. And so today we're really going to spend a lot of time just talking about removing the risk. And that's really just the concept that medications should not be kept. Like once your doctor changes a prescription or choose to stop taking it, it really is something that should leave your home. You just never know. Like if you keep it, it could end up in the wrong hands. If you flush it, it can end up in the water supply. If you decide to take it later, it can really like interfere with other medications that you might be taking. So it's just remove the risk, get it out of your house. Exactly. And so we're going to spend more time talking about that. But the other piece of it is the medications that you are on, it's important to lock them up. We get this idea that people are opiate or benzodiazepine, like mood and nerve pills, like they're seeking those types of medication. But reality is what we see from the prevention side of our life is youth really will take anything. And they kind of will, a blood pressure pill, muscle relaxer, cholesterol, they dump them in a pot, they call it a skittle party. And frankly, they'll take it and not knowing what even they're taking. So it's really a time in our life where it's just important to lock your medications up. So like one of the things that we are passing out here in Fayette County on our Drug Take Back Day is a lockbox with a key. It comes with a little tether that you could lock it down if you want. But we really just want you to protect your family and keep safe, lock up your medications. So that's the second piece of our project. And then the third piece is community education, the curriculum. Yeah, because I think, again, we have this idea that like addiction looks like one thing when really it can look like a lot of different things. And so Prime for Life really has been kind of, if I'm just being real with you, a good curriculum for me. I'm diabetic. And one of the Prime for Life like examples is, we all have this like predisposition for something, and the choices in our life, the things that we do, they lead us closer to that target. And so we can either take actions to take steps towards it or steps away. So for example, as somebody who is diagnosed with diabetes, like obviously my diet is very important, and I can choose to eat out 3 times a week, but I'm going to hit this insulin dependent destination more quickly than somebody who say exercises and is more mindful of even just eating out. And so Prime for Life looks at alcohol use, tobacco use, food. It looks at all of those areas and really talks about, like, helps you to become mindful of where you are and like the direction you're going to potentially a risky place. So it's really good for everybody. And
Yeah.
so I'm excited about that. And maybe there'll be another day I can invite you to come in and be a part of like one of my Prime for Life classes. But
Oh, I would love that. Yeah, that would
yeah.
be great.
So these are the three areas that communities that care through the state block grant are working on currently. But one of that first part, like, just removing the risk, really here in Fayette County, and I know that if you look in your communities, no matter where you are, every community has places that you can safely dispose of medications and sharps. Again, we have this idea that the only people who have sharps are people who are using or misusing substances, when reality is a lot of us, actually me included, is on an injectable medication. And just for the safety of our community, we need to always make sure to safely dispose of any sharps in like containers. And so here in Fayette County, I'm sorry, I'm getting caught up in my words, but we have currently two places you can drop off your unused medications: to the Connersville Police Department and to the Fayette County Sheriff's Department. And then we're real excited because we have a brand new harms reduction cafe that is opening later this month. And you are welcome to drop off sharps there anytime. And so each of these locations, there's numbers, there's addresses. We are glad to help you. And we have a really great, I feel like it's important to say we have a really great partnership with Fayette County's police department, actually, and our sheriff's department. But our police department has actually agreed to partner with us and help us to locate and place additional drop boxes throughout our community. Again, we just want to get the idea that it's the norm. There's no
Sure.
it's the norm to get rid of medications. If the minute you're not on it anymore, get it out of your house. Remove
Exactly.
it. And so
Well, and many times I apologize, but individuals say, yeah, if they are discontinuing a medication, they don't know how to properly dispose of it, or per se, one of their loved ones passed away and they don't know how or where to get rid of it. So this information is very valuable, because we need that awareness out there so that way we can dispose of the medications properly.
Angie, thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah.
Um, I think, I one of the things as we like really talked about this program and what it means and like how do we get people to join us in this school of thought? Because I'm going to be honest again. I like being real. A few
Mhm.
years ago, I broke my arm, and I was very modest with pain medications. I think I took two, and I had a pretty large prescription of them. And I thought to myself, huh, this is the rainy day fund. Like, should
Yeah.
something happen,
Right.
who wants to have to like go back to the doctor to get it? But what I really learned through my job, to be really honest, is that there are such interactions with medications that we don't even know. And Narcan, which is often known as the drug reversal drug that is given to
Yeah.
people who have an opioid overdose, has been carried for a really long time.
Mhm.
It's been in the medics, in the buses, because elderly people often take the wrong combination of medications and they use that Narcan to save their life.
Right.
And so, for example, if you're on a benzodiazepine like Xanax, and a lot
Mhm.
of people, it is a controlled substance, but a lot of people take that pretty regularly. And if you take a Xanax at the same time as you take an opiate, like, help me out, like, my brain is just, bleh. Um, like, common pain pills. Like, listen, we're just going
Right.
to leave
Like
it
if
alone.
you're taking like oxycodone or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, if
Yes.
you take those two medications together, it is considered lethal.
Yes.
And so if you're on, and I feel like if I'm giving this little talk to your population of people, it's really important to know that there are just medications that are unsafe to take together, and that combination is deadly. And
Mhm.
so you don't want to hang on to them. If
Exactly.
you have another broken bone, another injury, it's really important to seek that medical advice before taking something that you've held back. And so I think that that is important. You want to remove the risk, you want to get rid of it. And there's a couple ways you can do that. If you don't say live in Fayette County and you don't know where to safely dispose of medications, your pharmacy will have these little, they're called Dispose RX. I'll try to move it closer.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a couple different versions of it. And essentially what you do is you open it up, it's a powder, and you pour it right into the medication, fill that medication with water, and you give it a shake. And within just like it's kind of science fiction, within a couple minutes, it turns to jello and it totally neutralizes it, makes it safe to toss, and makes it totally ineffective to anybody else that would get a hold of it. So if you don't have a drop box like we have available here, you
Mhm.
can get these. I know Reed Health has them. I know that Meridian often has them. And again, I was just at Walmart at the pharmacy talking to them, and they said they were trying to add these with every prescription of a controlled substance.
Wow. Wow.
Again,
And
it doesn't have to be controlled,
sure,
anything.
sure. Now, do these cost anything, or are these free to individuals to help dispose of their medication?
Yeah, they're free.
Okay,
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
right.
they're free. If you got a hold of Reed, they've this is a big campaign this year. We've partnered with them. I know that we've passed them out a lot just
Mhm.
because not everybody drives. And
Sure.
so we work with a lot of people through our senior center who uses the public transportation. And so at least twice this year we've given these out through them. But anyway, so you can, if you can drop it in a box, it's really super simple. Or you can mix it in with the Dispose RX, and that'll also get rid of it.
It's a great alternative.
Thanks. Now, one of the things that we have partnered with our local food council, and
Mhm.
in doing so, I've had an opportunity to talk to several hundred people. And in that, I learned very much what you said, you made mention of earlier, and that is that they had medication left over from loved ones that had passed away.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that in time, we sometimes are on more medications than normal, you just don't know what to do. And so, I'm really proud of Miller Moster Robbins Funeral Home here, because they've agreed to have a drop box in their funeral home. So when someone makes their arrangements for a loved one, they can bring it right in, and it'll get locked up, and then our police department will come in and get it. So
That's
we
great.
we, we don't have to leave it in the house.
Sure.
Another big move, and I'm really proud of, is Fountain Place Apartments here in town. They cater to an elderly population, and even a more vulnerable population, and so
Mhm.
they know that their tenants have a lot of medications, and so they wanted a box right in their building. And so in their foyer, it's locked. And then that people can come in and as they change out medications or go off of them, they can put them in there. And then again, the local police department will come right in and empty them out. It does two things. It gets those medications out of the apartment
Yeah.
into a box that's 180 pounds strapped to the floor. So it's not going to be like easy for somebody to
Not
get.
easy. No.
But then it also brings in a positive police presence. So, unfortunately, we think of the police and it's not always in a positive light. But when you
Mhm.
have somebody coming in and doing a service in a friendly way, it builds that positive connection with local authority. So, I feel like this is a win-win. We currently have a couple other hopes and dreams out there. We have money for up to 10 boxes, and I know we're partnering with the senior center and have meetings with them, and are meeting this afternoon with another apartment complex. I'm hoping to see these boxes popping up throughout the community. Again,
Sure.
they simply remove the risk. And then the other positive side of that is we were able to help our police department get an incinerator. And
Mhm.
so they will be able to like literally just burn um, medications safely right on site without having to hoard them and take them even to Indianapolis. We're gonna like streamline the process. Anything can be incinerated in the incinerator, including sharps. So
Wow.
yeah, we're really excited about that.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. Yeah. Great opportunities moving forward. Yeah.
Um, Thanks. So National Drug Take Back Day, I have two slides for this one. The nation's Take Back Day is April 24th from 10 to 2. And if you look up National Drug Take Back Day, and you don't have to do a fancy search. If you just type National Drug Take Back Day, it's the first thing that pops up. And you can type in your zip code and it'll tell you where the nearest Drug Take Back Day is. And
Perfect.
so we are going to do that. So if you're a Fayette County person, we're going to be doing that. It used to be at the old Frazee Center. It's now the Haven. We're going to do it in a drive-through form. So there's a drive that wraps around or it comes around through the school, and you don't have to even get out of your car. We'll take it. We'll have these presents, and we'll give you a gift. We're gonna have these boxes that we're gonna pass out, and we also have shirts. So I'm not above bribing people.
That's great. And I was going to ask, how does an individual, gain access to one of those lock boxes? So you just explained that. Yeah.
I mean, we are doing several different things. And if you want to play with us in any way, shape, or form, if you reach out to me, I have a limited supply, but
Sure.
I don't want to hold on to them. So if you're here locally and want a lockbox, I'll be glad to bring one to you as long as I have them. Is that
Great.
fair?
That's great. Yes.
Okay. So I stole this. I'm not, this is literally straight from the nation, from the National Drug Take Back Day data. And it just basically says 9.7 million people misuse prescription pain relievers. 4.9 million people misuse stimulants, and 5.9 million people have misused prescription tranquilizers or sedatives. Now, I know that goes back to me saying, like, that's what we think Drug Take Back Day is about, because it is. I mean, like, we don't want those in our house. But I think the things that they're not talking about is, again, that any medication that's in your house that's just sitting around is not safe. We know that, and it's not positive PR, but it is what it is. I don't believe in hiding facts. This fall, we had six teenagers overdose here in Fayette County that all required Lifeline. All six of them. And yes, there were some muscle relaxers and some other controlled stimulants in there, but there was blood pressure and cholesterol and other medications too. And we nearly lost 6 middle school to high schoolers. So it just shows that, like this last piece of information here says that the majority of people get their medications from somebody else's home or friends. So removing that risk is important. And so there's just a little flyer for our Drug Take Back Day. I think that I've hit really what I had intended to say, but Angie, is there anything I might have missed?
No, just, a little bit of conversation, though, about, in medications. It's always important, though, to keep those locked up no matter what, even if they are current medications that an individual is using, just so that way they can stay out of the hands of other individuals. That's very important. But, because I know in moving forward, though, as far as, disposing of the medications, when my mother-in-law passed away, God love her, but she had 2 bags full of medications that she was no longer on, but she was saving those for a rainy day in case she needed them. But also individuals need to remember, though, that those medications, yes, you may have been able to take those before in the past, but your body and hormones may be different currently, and you may have a different reaction to those. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. And the other thing that I'm thinking about, Angie, as you talk, is in the past, the medicine cabinet was in the bathroom.
Yeah.
The medicine cabinet is where you kept everything. And in reality, the most private place in a house is the bathroom.
Right.
And so I would encourage people to move their medicine from the bathroom to another location. And so that's not something that we really talked about before, but when you're putting your medication in a lockbox, even if you choose to not use a lockbox, if you choose, if for you have, I use pill containers because my daughter and I both are on multiple medications. I still lock mine up. I have small kids, and
Sure.
I also have traffic in my house. And many friends, they're in recovery, and I just don't want to be a temptation to anyone. It's
Oh,
not that I don't
exactly.
trust them. It's because I do. I have great relationships and great trust. I just don't want to be a temptation to anybody. And so
That's
I
right.
would encourage you to take medications out of the bathroom where they're out of sight. Move them to where you know where they are. Um, Even if it's in a lockbox on your kitchen counter, I'm okay with that. Just so
Exactly.
long that you would know if somebody got into it.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Yes,
you're not
definitely.
gonna know. You're not gonna know if they're in the bathroom a little too long.
Right, exactly. No, and that is a very good point because, yeah, I mean, many individuals that's the most common place to keep medications, right in that bathroom there. But yeah, just making sure though that they're locked up and out of harm's way for anyone and everyone, and so
So
that
I
way everyone's safe.
Yeah, and I know that this will go out to more than just Fayette County. I
Yes,
know that every county has places you can safely dispose of medications. I
exactly.
wish I knew exactly where they all were. What I do know is that website, if you look up the Drug Take Back Day, National Drug Take Back Day, there is also a list there that you might, find that you can take your medications to. Again, if you're in this area and want to drive through on April 24th from 10 to 2, we'll be out there. Be glad to give you some things. I know that we'll be passing out bags that are going to have some of this in it. And then while supplies last, we will hand out lock boxes. And I also have some shirts and some other things. And we just want it to be the biggest drug take back day that we've ever had. And we usually do at least 2 annually here in Fayette County.
Perfect. Yeah. No, and that's great, because and we will definitely share the national drug take back link with this segment as well. So that way people can check that out if they choose to for their areas. But I know though that most times, you can contact your health departments or your police departments to find out, if there is a safe disposal place in their community. So as well. And in many communities though do the drug take back days. So hopefully this will grow and be more successful for you and for the communities that care because it's a great project. So
Well,
yeah,
thank
wish it is. Yeah.
Well, and if I'm giving another commercial, we are going to offer Prime for Life again coming up. So if you have interest in participating in Prime for Life, I don't necessarily care where you come from. And we will probably have a virtual opportunity. So if you want to share my information, I know it was on that original slide.
Yes.
I'm glad for people to reach out if they're interested in that community education piece.
Okay. All right. And now are those classes, will they be, like for so many weeks? How does that Prime for Life go?
Thank you. That's a great question.
Sure.
Prime for Life is unique. We will be able to offer it for 4 hours, 4.5 hours to reach our goal. So when we do it virtually, we'll do it in 2 sessions of 2 hours and a
Okay.
half. Excuse me.
Yes.
In person, we're gonna trudge it out. We're gonna do it over a lunch time and have a couple hours before lunch, have a working lunch, and then finish it out. So depending on when you are able to get in, I know that our very first session, we're gonna kind of keep inclusive, work through just getting familiar with the materials and presenting it. Now, I said that Prime for Life was unique because it is. It's
Sure.
unique in that it is prevention and treatment. So, say people may have heard of Prime for Life in other states and other locations. It's actually curriculum used in treatment world too. And so but in that treatment like section of it, it is many more sessions. It can go all the way up to 20 hours.
Oh,
We
wow.
in the prevention piece, we're 4.5 hours.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, definitely informational. So yeah. Yep. And that will be coming soon, you said, correct?
Yes, very soon.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Yeah, no, thank you very much, Holly. Is there anything else that you would like to share about the drug take back or communities that care in general?
No, I think I'm had the this has been a great opportunity and I'm really grateful that you reached out.
Yeah, no, it's exciting, because, this is definitely, information and awareness, education for individuals, whether it be, in an individual or an organization looking out to help their clients. Because yeah, this information doesn't get out very often. And, and with the Drug Take Back Day coming up April 24th, we definitely need to help spread the word. And so that way we can secure medications and just help any and everyone out.
Right. And one last thing, if you are in Fayette County and are a business or, I don't know, an apartment complex, or if you would like to see a drug take back box in your location, please reach out to me. We would love to help you with that.
Perfect. Yeah. And that was another question I was going to ask, is if you are looking for other locations, for your lock boxes and such. So perfect. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Holly. I do appreciate your time today. And hopefully we can partner together in the future again. But thank you, LifeStream friends, for joining us today. And Holly Dunn, don't forget, Drug Take Back Day, Saturday, April 24th in Connersville, Fayette County. And otherwise, stay safe and we will see you next time.